Hey everybody, Shane Perry here. Just want to drop a few things in your spirit, into your mind, into your heart that I believe can help you. I do believe that it is a part of my life's purpose to help people. And I feel great and I feel in connection and online with my purpose when I'm helping people. So I want to help you this morning just by sharing some things with you that I believe can really transform and shift your life. I did a blog post yesterday, actually, on my website, and the blog post was called The Junk Drawer. And the reason why I wrote this is because I was doing some cleaning yesterday, and I looked in the junk drawer. And here, I'm going to be honest with you, I actually have two junk drawers, and I think I have another one that's trying to morph into a junk drawer, but I'm not letting it happen. But the junk drawer is interesting because the junk drawer it's a place where you put things where you don't quite know where they go. You know, it's like rulers are in there, and I got a tape measure in mine, and old headphones. It's like stuff that you think you're gonna need at some point, but you don't really know where to put it. You throw it in the junk drawer. And there's mail in there that I'm never gonna read again, but for some reason I feel like that I'm gonna need to read it, so I stick it in there. It's funny what we put in the junk drawer. But I think a lot of times the junk drawer is like a metaphor for our own lives. And what I mean by that is we stick things in places that don't quite fit. And then we keep doing this in our own personal life until our junk drawer, or our spirits, our bodies, our minds, our emotions are filled with junk. And we try to clear it out, but it gets filled up again, because that's kind of how the junk drawer is, right? Let's think about it. The junk drawer is interesting because, have you ever cleared one out? I've done it before. I've gone through and cleaned everything out of the junk drawer, and only to have it fill up again. And the reason why is because that drawer has been designated as a place to receive junk. So even though I cleared it out, it gets filled up again. And the reason why, like I said before, is simply because it's been designated as a junk drawer. And it's kind of like that in your life. It's like, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody and it didn't go well and you got out of the relationship, and then when you got into a new relationship, you attracted the same kind of person? Isn't that crazy that happens? Or maybe you got out of debt and then you found yourself back in debt again. Why? Because you didn't really deal with the junk drawer. So in order to deal with this in your life, you have to be able to really face your issues. And you have to be able to really look within. And in fact, it's time when you start, we try to organize a junk drawer sometimes. We try to do that in our own life. But the truth is, you can't organize junk. You have to deal with junk. And so what I'm asking you to do is to look down within your soul and to start really taking items out and examining them. The first key to getting free of trauma, of fear, of feelings of being lost, sometimes even depression and anxiety, is you have to examine what got you in that place. You have to examine the things in your life that put you in that position, because if not, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and you just keep attracting the same thing over and over in your life. In fact, when you don't deal with the things in your life, when you don't deal with the struggles in your life, it bleeds out into other situations. It bleeds out into your relationships. It bleeds out into your emotions. It bleeds out into other areas of your life. So what I've learned how to do is face my issues. That's the first key to really getting free, is you have to be willing to get to the root. You have to be willing to reach into the junk drawer where you've just stuck stuff in your life, and to pull it out and examine it. Can you examine your life? Can you I'm trying to remember this quote by Socrates. I believe it says, the unexamined life is not worth living. I think I've said that perfectly, actually. The unexamined life is not worth living, because in order for you to really be free, you have to examine these areas. Now watch this. There's some stuff that's happened to you in your life that's not your fault. There's some people who were bad and they took advantage of you. They did you wrong and all of that kind of stuff. But here's the key. It's how you choose to deal with that that's going to affect the rest of your life. It happened. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, there's nothing you can do to change it. There is something you can do about it. And what you can do about it is you can accept, first of all, that this happened to you. Secondarily, you can take responsibility for it. Now, I know that sounds crazy. And I know I'm probably going to get some backlash. People are like, why would I take responsibility for something that somebody else did to me? Here's the responsibility I want you to take. Not for their actions, because what they did was wrong, but take responsibility for how you deal with it. So I'm not going to allow this to control my life anymore. And so I'm not going to allow this to be something that dictates and determines how I interact with people and how I live my life in this world. And you know, sometimes it even affects our connection with God. It affects our connection in relationships. And we're living out this old paradigm, this old psychological system that's within us because we haven't taken responsibility for it. You're not responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for how you deal with it. Because you can either be the victim for the rest of your life, or you can rise up and become a champion from it. And so there's a lot of studies that have been shown that it's not what happens to you that determines what you become. It's how you respond to what's happened to you. So one of the ways that you have to respond is you have to accept it for what it is. And you have to take responsibility for how you're going to deal with it. I'm going to get through this thing. Then the next thing you got to do is you got to forgive. Man, I know this isn't easy. I'm not going to get a lot of likes and love on this part because it's so difficult to do. But forgiveness is the key to everything. First of all, you got to forgive the people who have done you wrong. You've got to get rid of that stuff in your junk drawer. You have to pull it out, examine the root cause of it, and then forgive people who have hurt you. It is vital to do it. And listen, I had to do it with my stepfather. I had to do it with my mother. I even had to do it with the father that I never met. Many of you know that I am the child of a rape, and I've never met my real father. And I don't want to meet him because of how he violated my mother. But I even had to forgive him. And I even learned how to thank him. I thanked him because he brought me into this world. Without him in the equation, I wouldn't be here. As terrible as it was, I wouldn't be here. See, it's how I receive it. It's not what's happened to me. It's how I deal with it. And watch this. If you don't forgive others, the old saying says it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. One Chinese proverb says, trying to exact revenge. If you try to exact revenge, you might as well dig 2 graves because you're going to kill yourself in the process. The key is to let it go and forgive people. Then watch this. You got to forgive yourself. So many times we carry guilt and shame. And the thing is, we shouldn't be carrying that because we didn't do anything. It was done to us. But especially when trauma happens to you as a child, you feel responsible for it. You feel like it's your fault when the truth is it's not your fault and you need to let yourself off the hook. And then there's some things that you did do that's in the junk drawer and you're guilty about it. You need to let that junk go too, because you can't truly be free until you start letting things go in your life. And so listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to my to that blog post. I want you to read it. It's on my website. I'll put that in the comments here in just a moment. But it's on my website, Shane Perry Sr. That's the abbreviation SR, ShanePerrysr .com, ShanePerrysr.com. Go to the blog portion there and read that blog for yourself. It's called The Junk Drawer. Now, this is the other thing that I want you to do. I offer free coaching and life coaching. And I believe that we all need a coach. I have a coach in my life. I have somebody that gives me life coaching, that speaks into my life and that helps me, because you need somebody that can see the angles that you don't see. You need somebody that's not in your situation. Have you ever noticed that it's easier to give people advice than it is to take it for yourself? It's because you can see things, you can see angles when you're not emotionally attached to it. And that's what a coach does. So I want to give you free coaching. And I don't know anybody in the country that's doing that. Maybe there are some people doing it, but I want to give you some free coaching. I want to help you. This is all you have to do. You can go to my website, drshaneperrysr.com. You can go put in your name and go to the contact part, put in your name, your email address, and in the comments, just put coaching. Or you can email me at drshaneperrysr@gmail.com. I'm about to put all that in the comments here. and I'll put it on the replay at the top part. And you can get free coaching. I can show you how to work through some of these areas in your life, and I can help you get back on track. Okay, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Let me put these in real quick, and then I'm out of here. So the first thing I want you to go to my website. Let's see here. It's www.shaneperry. Sometimes I get confused on these. shaneperrysr.com. And you can check out my blog. And you can sign up for coaching there. And then I'm going to just put my email up if you'd rather just go that way. But I do want you to go to my website, to that blog, and I want you to read that. It's very powerful, and I haven't done it justice in this live video. You can, if you want free coaching, you can also just simply email me at drshaneperrysr@gmail.com. Okay, guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.